Father School, where entertainment and enlightenment meets.
Peace, everyone. We are here live and direct. Happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there. I have some guests on here today. Some really, really special guests. All right, so we got Daniel on here. Daniel, say your last name for everybody, please.
So that's eBay. It's spelled eBay, but it's eBay. So IBEH. It's eBay, like the.
Like eBay. Yep. Okay, we got Daniel eBay. So Daniel is my brother-in-law. He's gonna be marrying my sister soon. Okay, so ladies, get your eyes off of him. He is taken. All right. So then we got Knowledge Love to the left at the bottom. Knowledge Love, welcome to the show. And then to the bottom right, we got Knowledge Born. Welcome to the show, you all. And right next to me is my honey pie, my sugar pie honey bunch. Y'all always know I be talking about him. This Fatah right there. Say what up.
Happy Father's Day, my brother.
So how's everyone doing today?
I'm good.
Froze. Oh, he back. Daniel back on another screen. 1 second. Back on another screen, y'all. All right, Daniel, you back? All right.
Wow.
All right. How's everyone doing today?
I'm good. All's well. It's Father's Day. I get the big piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good. We might go to the park or something today, man.
So,
you know what I'm saying? How's everybody else?
Who just said he getting the big piece of chicken?
I'm at the park right now.
Me.
Knowledge Love said he getting the big chicken.
Say he gets extra love today.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. Tomorrow he back to the. You got that wing
tomorrow is back to ramen. Is back to ramen noodles.
Oh man!
I'm joking. I'm playing.
That's messed up. All right. So
my wife don't do me like that.
Your wife don't do you like that? She don't give you the big chicken ramen noodles?
No, she don't. No. She makes sure that I'm well fed. She makes sure that I'm good. She don't skimp on me.
Mm-hmm. She throws some chicken in the noodles though. Come on.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. Sometimes.
All right now. Daniel, what you eating for Father's Day?
I don't know. It's a surprise. I already had the breakfast, so the breakfast was good. You know what I mean? It was nice to, a lot of loving was in the breakfast this morning. You could tell the difference,
Oh my gosh. No. A
lot of love in the breakfast. I don't know what then it's gonna be. Then it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be beautiful. I love it.
What did Dre Anna make you for breakfast?
Everything. It was like a whole sandwich with omelet and it tasted lovely. I loved it, man. It was something to experience.
Knowledge born. Bro, do you eat breakfast? What you be doing? Get up off the mute.
I think it's mute, yeah.
Get off the mute, Did you eat breakfast?
Can you hear me? No, I ain't eat no breakfast.
What time do you normally eat?
I don't know, one meal a day, mostly.
1 meal a day?
So it just depends on what the day is. Yeah.
So what you got planned for eating today? What you eating today?
I don't know. I'll probably eat some chitlins. You know what I'm saying?
No, you ain't.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm
lying.
Yeah, I'm bugging.
You are lying.
I don't know. Whatever get made, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it's all good. I ain't worried about it.
Oh, okay. We got some comments on here already. People saying Happy Father's Day to y'all.
Peace.
Thank you, everyone.
Respect. That's right.
Yeah,
Happy Father's Day to all the other fathers that's watching.
yeah.
Word.
So I want to start off with. I'm gonna start off with you, knowledge, love.
Hmm.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So the first thing that we want to know: how long have you been a father?
Since 2002, my first child was born in 2002. I was 20 years old when my first son was born. He just turned 18 like a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So
Congrats.
thank you. Yeah, so
Congratulations.
there was him. Then 2 years later, I had my daughter, and Maya's 16 now. And then, I had gotten in some trouble. I went away, came back. I got married. So then that brought me five more children with my wife, with her children. So I don't use the term stepchildren. They're just my children,
Right.
and so that's five more. So that's
Bravo.
seven in all,
Mhm.
you know.
So you
So
over
that's
there
seven
deep,
in all.
right?
So
You over there deep, huh?
yeah,
You
well, I
deep.
mean, well,
Wake
it's
up.
only three that live here. It's only three that live at the house now. So her two oldest ones, they live on their own. My son, he lives with my father. My daughter, that's a whole nother wild situation for a whole another topic. But yeah, like right now we just three deep at the house with the children, just me, my wife, and the three. You know, so like with anything in life, it comes with its ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with children ain't never an easy thing. You know what I'm saying? Some days are easier than others, because especially considering the fact that everybody at the house is teenagers.
Yeah,
So
we know how that is.
those
Yeah,
are
we
horrible
know how that
times.
is.
You know what I mean? So there's yeah, so it's all that. But you know what I'm saying? All in all, you couldn't ask for anything else. You know what I'm saying? You in charge of, you get the I don't want to say responsibility, but it is a responsibility, but also a privilege of helping to mold, like, what I'm saying, the future. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Trying to show people how to be, like, like you're trying to raise people into being decent human beings. And
That,
I think they getting it. You know what I mean? Trying to show them what it is to be righteous or whatever. And a lot of times it'll seem like they're not paying attention, and that can be frustrating. But like at some point, at some degree, they're listening, it's sinking in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I think somebody would have to be like extremely mentally ill to purposely uh teach their children how to be foul or how to be wrong, how to
right.
do wrong, like
Right.
intentionally show them how to be, what I'm saying, vile and have low character. Like that person isn't really fit for real to be dealing with children, because in all honesty, I think it's innate in all of us to want to be good, to do the right thing, to be righteous. So you
Right.
want to teach those things to your children. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're well balanced, I mean, there's people who aren't very, what I'm saying, well adjusted or well balanced that have children, and we see the results of it all the time. But that's not
Right.
going on over here. I refuse to allow that to go on over here.
Right.
So I'm not with it.
Right.
We
Don't
need
none of
well
that.
balanced people out there. Yeah.
Knowledge,
Happy
knowledge,
Father's Day to you too.
knowledge, love. That's
Peace.
what's up. So, knowledge, love. Do you remember how it felt when you had your first child? How did you feel?
It was sobering. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like the day that because I was living extremely different before my son was actually born, because it wasn't until he was born that, what I'm saying, me being a parent became real to me. So the whole
Mm,
time I was still ripping and running and all that. And the day that my son was born, I'm not even going to lie, it was like I was high off PCP. And then when he came out, like I
mhm.
automatically sobered up.
Great. Yeah.
Like it was just real. Like I looked at the world different. Like I looked at the way that I approached a lot of things, for the most part. Like I had wanted to just kind of like change a lot of things around or whatever, because that's when it got real, is when he got there. Even though like my own father kept warning me, like, yo, like, when he get there, everything's gonna change. You need to prepare yourself now. I wasn't listening to him, because like I was like, he's not here. Even though I saw my baby mother with her with the big belly and all that, like for me, it didn't sink in until I was holding him. He was crying. you know, and then like it was kind of surreal, and then like it really sunk in, like really sunk in the next day, you know, for me. That's when it was like, okay, I can't do this no more. Like what I was doing before, I can't do this like that anymore. And, you know, I wanted to go try to just get legit, like full time legit. Like before, I would kind of dibble and dabble. I would go get a job or whatever. I don't like the manager, so it's like, forget it, man. My man got the work, my man the plug. I'm gonna just go back to the streets or whatever. But you know, you couldn't really do that around that time because somebody's counting on you and all that, even though the money was faster. So I just looked at it like that's not the life that I would want to bring to them. Like it was cool for me when it was just me. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever come my way, you know what I'm saying? Like I was when my baby mother got pregnant, I was 19. You know, like life hadn't really started for me for real yet. You know, so like when I turned 20 and I'm 20, you know, and I'm still young and wilding and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like I'm still trying to play it by ear, like trying to figure it out. So it I don't know, it gave me a better sense of accountability, knowing that like, you know, I had to mess up a few times, you know what I'm saying, in major ways and stuff like that for me to start being like, you know what I'm saying, to actually see the weight of my decision, how it affected others. Because like I said before, when it just affected me, I didn't really care. I was like, I can bounce back from this. That ain't nothing. I'm the only one going through it. But now when you see it, and then I'm really watching it, and you seeing like the effect, like, you know, you seeing the effect that it would have on other children, like on your children, on what's growing up and what they're actually learning, not from what you're saying to them, but by what you're doing. And then I end up getting locked up for like a long haul at one point, you know, and I'm like, the whole time I'm locked up, I'm thinking about my two children that I left out there. And then I'm in there with dudes who are in there with their father.
Wow.
Like I knew a dude who his cellmate was his father. You know what I'm saying? I was in there with dudes. It's like this one dude I knew, him and all of his brothers was in there, and a couple of his uncles and shit. And I'm like, that's not. I get a chance to get up out of here. Like when I get up out of here, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, create that legacy for none of my son, for my son to follow. This before I even had my stepson or my nephews or anybody to follow or whatever. So I know for me, like, you know what I'm saying, it forced you to grow up quick or just snap into, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a man just because I have children, you know what I'm saying. You're a man now because you have that responsibility, and the type of man that you are, you know what I'm saying, dictates, you know, how you deal with that responsibility. Or the type of person you are dictates how you deal with the things that go through in life. And you start looking at how you want your son, because this is a reflection of you too. You know what I'm saying? This is an extension of you. So you like, you know, you would want him to get the best parts of yourself and not the
Right.
worst. So, you know, right, start trying to show him the best parts of yourself for him to emulate. You know what I'm saying? Even with your daughters, you know what I'm saying? You would still like your child. They're still your child. So you would want, they're both an extension of you. You would want to show them the best parts to you, because that's what you would want them to emulate. You don't really want to show, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, I messed up. I'm not perfect or whatever, you know what I mean? But still, this is me, and this is, you know what I'm saying, how I try to see things, and this is where I'm trying to guide you to, is over here, because over there, that ain't it. You know, that's how that hit me coming up as a father.
That's, you know, and I got one last question for you before I go on to our next guest, right? During
Hmm.
that process, what did you already have knowledge of self then, or did you gain knowledge of self during the process?
I gained knowledge of self during the process. Before then, I didn't
Mm,
have knowledge of self. I just heard the term 5%er. You know, I
right.
didn't really know what it was. I know Wu-Tang said it a couple of times, gods of earth or whatever, but I didn't really, you know, like I was raised around like gang culture and stuff like that. So I knew that, and I knew, you know, it wasn't until I actually got a chance to sit down and talk with some 5%ers when I got locked up, when I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes way more sense than what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that makes way more. Yeah, yeah. You know, so I started wanting to get the knowledge and all that. And I came home, and you know, I try to teach it to my children, but you know what I'm saying, they get certain parts of it. They just don't understand 120. but they understand what it
Yeah.
is to be righteous and knowing that your word is your bond, and you know what I'm saying, what it is to be responsible for those that don't know. So they got a lot of main precepts, so it sets it up for, you know, I can fill in the blanks later to really give it to you. But if you understand like the basic principles of what it is to be righteous versus what it is to be holy, what it is to, you know, be civilized versus uncivilized and all that, then, you know, later on I can fill everything in for you.
That's peace.
That's
All
peace.
right now. Yeah, that's peace. That's peace. So Daniel,
Yeah, peace,
Daniel
peace.
eBay.
So,
So the same question for you. The same questions. Like, how long have you been a father?
yeah, so my oldest is she's 6, so about 6 years. 2014, she was born.
Six
Yeah,
years. 6 years. And like, okay, so for the it's a oh, you have a daughter.
I have a daughter and a son, right? So my daughter
I
was
know
my
about my
firstborn.
nephew.
Yeah, right. So my daughter was my firstborn. She was born April 25th, 2014.
Okay. So during that process, let's talk about when you first found out that her mom was pregnant. Okay.
Yeah,
What was the feeling that you had?
I was excited, man. You know, because for me, you know, being born in West Africa, Nigeria, you know, me and my father ain't had the greatest relationship. You know, so I had to kind of be out here on my own. So in my mind, I always envisioned that if I had a kid, you know, I wanted to be a great representation. I wanted to kind of like, you know, show them the way to the best of my ability, obviously, because, you know, life's life, you know, but I want to be a presence in their life because I know why a lot of us get involved in a lot of things. And when I was younger, you know, why I was led astray was because I was looking for leadership. I was looking for somebody that you know, that I felt like was more connected to me. And there's nothing more in depth as far as connection than a parent and a child, you know. So I understood that, and when I found out she was pregnant, I was like, man, it was surreal, man. So like I was starting to get everything together, as far as, you know, money and just trying to be the greatest example, man, because, you know, that's such a big role. You know, like when you look at your kids, man, it's like it's a humbling thing because it's like you can't lie to them. You know, you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to your children because they get to really see you like absolutely for who you are. So like having my child taught me to work on myself. You know, like try to be the best possible version of myself because if I'm not, they're gonna throw it in my face because I know what the relationship I had with my parents and I know how I see them. So I want to try to make it a lot better for me, you know, because I'm like I said, you know, kids know you, you know. So when I found out, you know, I was having my daughter, man, I was just, it was just a beautiful thing. I can't even explain it.
Oh, that's just you talking about it sounds like you just had an amazing experience.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was real. Yeah, it was deep.
so
Yeah,
and you did say you have, you know, well, I know, but you know, there's people who don't know you have another child as well, you know,
right.
by my sister. So you went from a girl to a boy. How was that transition? Like, how did that feel going from a girl to
Yo,
a boy?
I feel like I'm stronger. Yeah, I feel like girls will shake you up, man. Girls. That's why I feel like a man really becomes a man once he has a daughter. Because then you get to really see like, oh man, I don't want to say this, I don't want to do that. All the experiences you might have had in the past, the good, the bad ones with women, you like, that can happen to my daughter. You know, like you start to really like, yo, man, I gotta become better. So my son was like, I feel like it was easier for me. Cause like I completely understand. I'm a man, so he's a boy. So I kind of understand, you know what I'm saying, what he's gonna become, and I know my role in his life and what I gotta do. But for my daughter, it was like I ain't really know. And also the fact that I was co-parenting because I was no longer with the mother. So now it's like I only get my kid every other weekend. So I don't really know what, the world is crazy. You got some predators out here. You know, I don't know what's out there. So I just care about my child, you know. So having to like balance like how to like still, you know, being involved in her life, even when she's not with me. You know what I'm saying? That was just mad hard. You know what I mean? And with my son, you know, he lives with me. He's here with us. You know, I see him every day, and I get to be that, that example. But for my daughter, it's just like when she was first born till now. She's 6. It's still hard because it's like she's a girl. She's growing up. You know, she's starting to grow into herself. And you just know the world is cruel. So, you know, I want to just find a way to always be a great example and be a part of her life, even when she's not with me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Ain't that beautiful?
It is.
Yeah.
All right, now, so now, you there, babe? You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm here.
Not you, Daniel. Knowledge born.
Okay, no, it's gonna work.
We need you to
Is his
say
mic still messed
something,
up?
Knowledge born.
I think he's mute. His thing's mute.
You're mute. You're mute. You're mute. All right, bro. You there?
You hear me?
All right. Check 1, check 2. Mic check. All right, so Knowledge. Tell us how long you been a daddy. How long you been a father? We can't hear you. You on mute again. You're pressing the mute button.
This reception out here ain't too good. I'm at the park. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now. How long you been a daddy? Yeah, we hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
All right. Yeah, about 20 years. My oldest is 21. My daughter is 18. You know, I got 2 young warlords, 9 and 6.
They're twins?
Boys and 1 girl. So.
You said you got 2 that are 6. Are they twins?
No, 9 and 6. 2 young boys. They warlords. Yeah, they're not regular humans. They warlords. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We know about them warlords.
I think what my brothers expressed is very heartfelt. You know, family is your first initiation, and if you don't pass that initiation, you're not ready for the world.
Right.
You know, you got marriage, and you have family. So these are all initiations, like your birth story, like your children's birth story, and teaching them the oral tradition of their story. My mother gave us our birth story, so we were not without identity about who we are. That's important. You see what I'm saying? And then, you know, talk to us about our father. You know, that's another part. So you're not in the world in lack in those regards. You see what I'm saying? So when my brother was speaking about, you know, teaching his children the best part, they're born with the best part. They're here to learn from your poor part and their poor part. You have to help guide them through their poor part by allowing them to see your poor part. You see what I'm saying? And y'all rise up together. They have our best genetics. They come with everything, all of the best. They know us inside and out. We have a spiritual contract with them, and I don't want to use spiritual in the term where y'all think I'm talking about spooky. All of my children, we agreed to come together and for them to come through our bloodline, whether we are cognizant of that or not. That is the first step before we ever even see them. You know, with all of my children, I predicted their birth. You know, I was like, yo, you pregnant. You pregnant. You understand what I'm saying? And once that acknowledgement came, then came the story. You know, we come in the dream, we sit down and set out the terms. So when we say there's no mystery, God, we don't deal with no mystery. And if you're in that right place within yourself and you open to that kind of spiritual connection, you can have that. You know, you can read to your children while they're in the womb. You understand? Like, I was born speaking Arabic because my mother and father spoke Arabic. I had to learn English to go to school. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things come around back to your children, and you can teach them 3 or 4 languages in the womb. If you're there, if this is intentional. You see what I'm saying? Like, it sounds good, but it's harder than what it sounds because it's an initiation. You know, you have to establish a trust, a bond, a connection. You have to have a understanding. You know, and then you get into co-parenting. If it don't work out in between y'all got to have a deeper and stronger connection. Because what's more important than your children? Nothing. Not y'all feelings, not whatever the shit you going through back and forth, whatever the way is. And if you want, and once you take it outside of the realm of y'all two and into the court system, they got the money grab. So they're there to capitalize off of the situation and have you feeling inadequate. And that's a hellified thing for you in your mind as a man or as a woman. As a man, we carry it in our mind. The sisters, they carry it in their heart. You see what I'm saying? So once you allow a foreign entity to come in there and create discord, this is how the hell comes through. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
But if we look at our lessons, we go through hell to come out what? Right. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a part of the process. That's a part of the process. And to my brother, the relationship with your father is one that we have to understand our cultural connection and how men were. Our fathers from the old time are reflective of African culture. You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it wasn't too much "I love you" type of situation. It was very hard. They worked very hard. You understand what I'm saying? And they grew up in a society where you had to be hard. So it wasn't that was love. Like, you know, did you eat? You understand what I'm saying? Like that was
Right.
that kind of reflection. You see what I'm saying? So understanding that aspect of your father will help heal
Fast.
and leave space for reconciliation on that side. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Because if
Yeah.
you don't fix it, it visits. You have a son. You understand what I'm saying? If
Right.
you don't fix it, it will visit your son and it will blur y'all connection, even though y'all in the same house. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things are tests and trials for us to become the best versions of ourselves, and we can continue to replicate family in the same kind of manner. You know, like I went through all kind of hell. I was in the military. My children had to see me go off to war. I left for extended periods of time in regards to training and all kinds of stuff. And I realized the stuff that I was giving them was a replacement for what they really wanted. Our children want us, and we give them stuff. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We give them stuff. We make excuses to go to the job and say, "Don't you want stuff?" That's like the worst shit we could ever say to our children. And in reality, they want us. They want that time with us. They model after our
Mm-hmm.
behavior. So whether we try to keep the poor part from them, they, like as I said, they learn through that poor part. This is what they're here for. If they're here for a mission and a reason and a purpose. And the closer you are to that mission and reason and purpose, the greater guide you can be because we're guides for them. I
Mm.
saw all of my children come out of the womb. I was the guardian and protector. You understand? That woman, that black woman, something happens to her amazing. You understand? So the only thing we could do is be a guardian force. You understand what I'm saying? It's us against the world when this life is coming out of the womb. We ain't got no issues. I predicted all of my children's birth and the day that they would come to the planet. I'm like, yo, it's today. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's today. Like, one of my sons, he just wanted some McDonald's before he came out, so he got some McDonald's. You understand? I'm like, yeah, he about to come now. You see what I'm saying? My youngest son, I'm like, yo, he just want the bed, because we was BSing around with the bed. Like, yo, he got the bed, he coming today. You see what I'm saying? So just in tune with that, and vocalizing these things, and doing your best. And when you don't know, it needs to be a community of brothers, somebody who got some time and some wisdom to help you navigate through that process.
He froze.
I think he froze. Yeah.
He froze. He froze. He froze. All right, he'll be back on. He said he out in the park right now. All right, so I'm gonna go back to you for a second. Knowledge, love, right? All right.
Hmm.
So, what can you say? Like, what's the what is your how do you feel about being a dad? Like, what's the greatest thing about being a dad to you?
I think just that within itself is just being the dad, you know what I'm saying? And just, you have these people that just love you unconditionally, you know what I mean? Some people that,
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing your job right, you know what I'm saying? These are the people that put you on this they look up to you, you know what I'm saying? And they give you the highest regard. And, I don't want to make it feel like an ego thing, but it just feels good when people have that kind of confidence within you. It makes you want to go out and and you know what I'm saying, just do more and lead the way because you know you showing them the way. You know what I'm saying? You can accomplish all this. You know what I'm saying? So when they look to you and they look to you for leadership, guidance, and all that other stuff, and you know what I'm saying, knowing that they feel protected around you and all that, safe. You know what I'm saying? That's like a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see them execute something that you taught them or whatever, regardless of how
Mm-hmm.
much. Because you know, like me and my family, all of us are in the martial art. You know what I'm saying?
I heard. I heard.
So there would be times where it's like, you know, it look like they BSing around on the mat until, you know, you get in the backyard and then I fake through a punch and now you got a block. You know what I'm saying? And I'm showing you how to go through that technique properly. At the same time I'm showing you the technique, I'm trying to show you how to relate it to life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they start to understand it and you start to see the fruition of it and stuff like that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's just knowing that you have that comfort zone, these people that you are comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole world could be against you. You know what I'm saying? Just being a black, like just being black, period, but also being a black man. You know what I'm saying? Leave out here, you know, sometimes feel like the whole world is against you. Then you come home and you got these people right here, like they're not against you. You know what I'm saying? They all for you, and that's one of the greatest feelings in the world. It's like it's just something that you created, and it's just always there for you. You know?
Mhm.
You
That's
know what I'm
what's
saying?
up.
It's your legacy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how you should look at it as too. He went off, but he'll be back on. Daniel,
Yeah.
what about you? I got the same question for you. Like, you know, what is the greatest thing about being a dad for you? Like, what is it?
I think I believe it's the purest connection ever, you know, the one you have with your children. You know, you brought them into this world. They understand, you know, how genuine that is, you know, because, you know, you had to make a conscious decision, you know, to decide and commit to what they are, you know. So just them
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, you know, I'm taking on this leadership role regardless of where I'm at in my life or what I know. You know, I'm willing to learn new things and be the best possible version of myself. I don't think anything has ever made me feel that committed, you know, than, you know, having a child, you know. So that alone is so inspirational. You know, it's like in what other case would I want to be like the best version of myself, because I know this child, you know what I'm saying, is gonna hold me accountable, you know, to some degree. You know, when they're children, they ain't gonna tell you because they're young, but you know, there's that level of accountability. Like, look, you're my father, you're my mother, you know, you're gonna, you know, be this and that for me. So that alone, man, is it's the purest thing. And you know, like it's unconditional, you know, there's no conditions attached to it, you know, because it's your child. And you know, it's like regardless of what you do, I'm gonna love you, right? It's like, you know, like, you know, I hope you make the
Mhm.
right decisions. I hope I can play a huge role in, you know, in helping you make those decisions by just being a great example. But overall, like I have to love you. Like, you know, like there's nothing like that, you know. And shout out Knowledge Born, Allah, he was saying some real stuff, because like coming from West Africa, right? My father was like, it was a different kind of parenting. Like I had no relationship with him. But he said like where we came from and you know, and what life was like, he had to be like that. You know, we didn't have communication skills. And so like being an adult, I had to learn to reconnect with them and like find a middle ground. Like this morning, I actually was like, "Yo, Happy Father's Day," you know. He said it back, and I was like, wow, that's, you know, that's a lot coming from where we come from, because you don't even say stuff like that, you know. So you know, but the reason I'm able to do that is because he's my father, you know. Regardless of
Mhm.
what I feel like he's done for me, I still love him, you know. So to answer your question, it's the purest connection on earth. I believe, man. You know, nothing can replace it.
That's great. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna have to turn the mic over to you right now, right, Qatar?
Mhm.
So I want you to tell everybody. He didn't know I was gonna do this, but of course I gotta do it to him too. I'm doing it to y'all. You know, how
Right.
long have you been a father?
It's been about some years. Yeah.
So how long has that been? How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 20. He's 21 now.
20.
Yeah, he's 21. My oldest is 21. He was my first son, and like I said, I started off young, so I've been a father for some time now. But you know, I was young, so I didn't. you know, when you that age, you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you know what you got to do, but you know, I didn't really have the proper guidance growing up because my father wasn't that great of a teacher himself. But you know, I kind of figured it out as I went along. You know,
Hey, boss, get in front of the
but
mic.
as I went along,
Come
huh?
closer.
Word.
Sorry.
Come closer.
No problem, boss.
Yeah, as I do you hear me now? You guys hear me
I hear
now?
you now. Hear you now. Yeah, yeah.
You hear me now? You hear me too? You hear me, knowledge love?
I hear you now. Yeah.
You guys all hear
Yeah,
me?
I hear
Yeah.
you.
So you know, I started off mad young. So I've been a father for a good amount of time, and I just got better with time. You know what I mean? Huh?
21.
21 years I've been a father.
And okay, so you just now well, you became a father 21 years ago, and
Mhm.
then after about 19 years, correct? 18, 19 years, became a father again.
Mm-hmm. And
And tell them about your experience because you became a father with our child
with
after 19 years.
after 19 years, and you know, I having a brand new baby boy is it was different for me because I didn't get to have that experience with my first son. You know what I mean? Because I had what you call the bitter baby's mom. You know, that wanted to dangle the baby like, here, you want to see him do this, you want to do this, you do shit by it. You know what I mean? So it was have this time around was a different feeling because I was more hands on and I was able to witness a lot more things with my son now that I wasn't able to do with my firstborn. You know, not just fart. I'm just saying. Sorry. Yeah, but it was it's a beautiful feeling, you know, because there's a lot of stuff I missed, you know, the first time around because of problems with the baby with the first baby's mom. But now having a new child, a new son now, you know, being able to do all these things that I wasn't really able to do before because there was always some bullshit behind it. Sorry. There was always some stuff behind it. But now that, you know, less drama, I'm able to, you know, move with him the way I want to move with him. It's the feeling is amazing.
It's an amazing feeling.
It's an amazing feeling.
So, all right. So I asked the other dads on here, how did they feel, you know, seeing their child for the first time or that first experience, just being with them, but you clearly made it known that you didn't have that experience that first time around.
Mm.
So what about your second time around? Because you did have another child after your first one. Were you able to experience that with them, or was it the same thing?
It was the same thing
All right.
because of problems with the baby's mom. It was the same thing.
Okay, so then your third go around.
It was great.
Be there with the baby and so forth. How did that go?
It was great to be able to, you know, it's a beautiful feeling to watch your child be born. You know, because it's not something I experienced before. The first two times that it happened, but it's not that I didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, but again, you know, we were both young, and you know, the person I was with at the time had issues. You know, so he was just real bitter. But this time around, it was much better because I wasn't dealing with none of that. It's a beautiful feeling to watch your child come out of the womb. It's nice. Very beautiful feeling to see it, you know, to be part of it. And for the first person to see your son or your daughter to see you when they come out.
Yeah.
So it was a very great experience for me.
Oh, that's really good. So, what do you being a being a father? What would you say is the best about being a dad? The greatest thing.
Looking at the smile on your child's face, like seeing that you make them happy, and you know they make you happy. The bond that you guys the bond that we have. Like me and my son have an amazing bond. You know, he's little. You know, he's only one and some change. We have a great little bond already. I would say that's what it is. It's the bonding and seeing, you know, watching him smile when, you know, when I'm playing with him. I would say that's what makes it. That's what makes it good for me.
Yeah, I can't really hear y'all. We just got a comment in too. I stay close to the mic. I can't. You
Can
just
you hear
lost.
me now?
I hear you now. Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right. So what I will say is this, like since being in the actual relationship with him, you know, because we've been in each other's aura for some time now. But since being in an actual relationship with him and having a child with him and seeing how persistent and how dedicated he is with our child and stuff, and also my children before him, it's great. You know, it's a great feeling. And I'm not sure. I wish he could have been there for his other children like that, because I see that he has more than enough potential to be a bomb father. You understand what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the older ones, they miss that with him. But you know, it's never too late for the fathers out there who are not able to be a part of their children's lives. It's never too late to involved, to get involved. You know, it's never too late. Doesn't matter if your children are 21, 22,
Mhm.
30, 40. It's just never too late to take that step and say, hey, you know what? Something happened back then, whether you want to tell them what happened or not, you know, something happened back then, but right now, today, I want to make it right. It's
Facts.
never too late to do that, you know. And I see the effort in that he puts in, you know, constantly with his older children, you know. So I definitely big up all of the fathers out there that take the initiative to be active fathers in their children and even grown children's lives.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
I just seriously, I big you all up, because the stigma on black fathers is horrible. And people
Right.
don't know that
Yeah.
there's millions of fabulous fathers out there, you know, in our community. We see
I
it
would
all the
say
time,
more
but they
than
like to talk about the bad ones. They
I would
love to
say
talk
that
about the
there's
bad
more
ones.
good fathers than deadbeat
Yeah.
in
Exactly,
our community. I
exactly,
would say there's way
exactly.
more good fathers. Like I know a couple deadbeats or whatever. I'm not friends with them. I don't like those type of people, but you know what I'm saying? I know way more I know way more
Mhm.
good fathers than I know deadbeats. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've seen dudes
True.
still trying to, like,
Same
even
here.
in prison, I've seen dudes, like, even though, you know what I'm saying, the situation, the circumstances would have them being absent or whatever, they were still doing whatever they had to do for, you know what I'm saying, their children. They were sending money home from prison.
Wow.
You
Mhm.
know what I mean? They were doing whatever they had to do to be able to be able to stay in contact with their children. You know what I'm saying? Getting cell phones and stuff off the yard. Now, look, granted, you're breaking the rules or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to your children, man, that's the rule.
Yeah,
You
you'll
know
take
what I
good
mean? I'm
good.
still trying to, whatever I got to do to stay in your life, or whatever, I'm
Mhm.
gonna do it. I know I sent
Mhm.
money home from when I was locked up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would make a whole bunch of wine. We would sell it. I get the stamps, send the stamps home, get the
Mhm.
money, and then send the money home to my son or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm send him money for video games and all that stuff from prison. So
Mhm.
you know, like I said, like, or even out here in the street, I know guys that work, you know, they're slave. They break themselves into the ground, you know what I'm saying, work and trying to balance work and spend as much time as humanly possible to just be with their child, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
so that they can take care of them, you know, not even just financially, but like mentally, emotionally, just physically, just being there, you know what I'm saying, in every way,
Mhm.
shape, and possible. You know what I mean? Like, I know dudes whose schedule is on E. You know,
Damn.
their schedule is tight because it
Mhm.
revolves around their children and everything that their children is involved in. I don't know many guys like, you know, like in order to be a deadbeat or whatever, and you don't have like baby mama drama, you choosing to be a deadbeat.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between having a bitter baby mama keeping you out of the picture versus You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to be around, dog. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You just everything else is a priority. You know, I know one dude, he's like almost 50 years old. You still trying to trying to chase a singing career. You know what I mean? Your kids, they're being raised by another man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yup.
You know what I'm saying? All of your children, you got like a few different baby mamas, and somebody else is raising all your children.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How are you comfortable with that?
Right.
You know what I mean? You got these people walking around with your blood, with your DNA, your characteristics. You ain't even around to see it shine through. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like my son, he's mad at me about some other stuff now. People go through that. But like when I would be sitting there talking to him and we'd be having conversations, I would be watching him and I would see little mannerisms that I got, the way that he says certain things, his sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? He kind of a smart ass like me and stuff like that. And I would peep that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when you see that come through in your children, be like, yo, why would somebody choose to miss out on
Right.
that?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
anytime you walk past a mirror, you take time out to look at it. So when you see your children, you see in another mirror of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
would you want to miss out on that?
Right.
And I
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
understood that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It just boggled me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my baby mother used to get on my nerves so bad. I'd be like, man, I don't care, man. I'm gonna bounce. I ain't never gotta do nothing with her or that baby. But it's not in me. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's not in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I ain't going to talk to her no more. I don't care nothing about the baby. Just while she was still pregnant. I probably stopped talking to her about 2-3 months while she was still pregnant, and then still came back around. Didn't like her, but I didn't want to be too far away because when my child get here, I want to be a part of his life. Even though I didn't like her, you know, to this
Mm.
day I don't like my baby mother. I like her
Right.
husband more than I like her. You know what I
Oh
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know many
Oh
people that like
man.
her, but this ain't about her. She's not a likable person. Her husband's a good dude. I like
Yeah.
Oh
him.
my
Me and
Yeah.
him
gosh.
talk. You know what I'm saying? I just hit him up this morning and said Happy Father's Day. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? We're good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to her on Mother's Day. She was a terrible mother. You know what I mean? And even that within itself is still a choice.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, like when things are out of your hands
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, I can't really say whether you're a good or bad parent or whatever. You're shit. You know, some things you can't control and you end up in that situation. But when you choose to not be around and you choose to not be involved in your children so that you could just go do whatever, then you chose to be a deadbeat and you chose to wear that stigma. You know what I mean? Like any decision you
Yeah.
make, you
Yeah.
know, it
That's
comes with
true.
Absolutely.
consequences. It doesn't matter if the decision is positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes with a consequence to it. You know what I'm saying? Consequences aren't always bad. But when you receive bad consequences, that's why people be like, you know, like they don't want to look at the consequences of their actions because you know your actions that you're doing, that whatever you commit, you know what I'm saying, is going to bring upon some harsh consequences towards you, and you don't want to deal with it, but you still want to commit whatever it is that you're trying to commit. You know what I mean? So these
Mm-hmm.
people, they want to go off and they want to live a life of hedonism or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just live their life and do them, live their best life, but they don't really want to come back around and deal with the consequences of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would say, man, there's
Yep.
far more good fathers and mothers, you know what I'm saying, than what we get credit for. And I will go out as far as somebody can argue it with me or whatever. I don't really care because I'm gonna stand by it. There's way more good fathers than there is deadbeat fathers. It's just that the way that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
live in
I
this Western
agree.
I
culture,
agree.
right? Because in this Western culture, you know what I'm saying, like I don't know why, but people tend to focus more on the negative than they do the positive because the negative is what's going to get more attention. Even when we look at our
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
music, you would have people who make positive music and you know what I'm saying, real good music. It don't get the same attention as you know what I'm saying, songs about sipping lean and getting high or killing your brother, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or how
Yeah.
much you're gonna sell your body for sex and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because people love the negative, they love nihilism. You know what I mean?
Like
And
yeah.
people would for whatever reason, people love to see black people. They love to see black men as deadbeats and all that. They love to see black women as troublesome and whores or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they tend to lean on. I know more women that are actually decent people than I know whores. That's not to
Right.
say I don't know no low down women. That's just to say that because of what I choose to surround myself around, I know more of
Exactly.
this, you know what I'm saying, than I do of that. And if you know
Right.
too much
Exactly.
of something that fits a negative stereotype, then you have to change your surroundings. Because I know for me, that's why I'll say I can't associate with somebody who's a bad father, or somebody who's purposely an absentee father, or somebody who's purposely a toxic or absentee mother. I can't associate with somebody who would live with these things, because if I deal with you like that, you know what I'm saying, at some point in time I'm going to have you around my family, and I don't want my children around that. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I would
And
expect everybody else would feel the same way. Like, I don't want these type of people around my family. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if I don't want you around my family, I don't want you around me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Knowledge. I speak about that often because I see, black women on my page, and I constantly end up deleting. Most of the time I'm deleting them. They're always are complaining and nagging about, the black men, period. Whether they're fathers or not, just black men,
Hmm.
period. Oh, they ain't this, they ain't that, they ain't protecting us, this, that, and the third. Just a whole bunch of stuff that they nag about, that they nag
Right,
about. And then I also see um, our brothers doing the same thing about the women. And I don't see it all the time on my page, but when I do catch it, I say something about it. If they don't like it, I just delete them, because you know what? You are who you surround yourself with. So
Fact.
why
right,
are these people around you?
Right.
That's how I
right,
see it. Why are they around you? How come you're around a bunch of men who are worthless and deadbeats? Why are you around a bunch of females that are worthless and deadbeat mamas?
Right.
Why are
right,
you surrounding yourself around those type of people? You
right.
know? So,
Why is that your norm?
yeah. Why
You know
exactly?
what I'm
And they
saying?
say, "Well, you don't see that." No, I don't, because you know what? The men that I knew growing up, I wasn't around no deadbeat men. I wasn't around that. So I was like, I don't know. I can't relate. I can't relate. And I don't, and the brothers that I have in my life, and I'm not talking about my blood brothers, I'm just talking about the brothers, you, him on
Right,
our show, other people, they are not deadbeats. I know productive brothers, who are active in their children's lives, active in the black women's lives. They're just
Right.
active, positive individuals. So I
right,
don't know people like that. So I just be looking like, okay, so this says a lot about you. It says a lot about you.
right.
Why
I had
are
to
you
give
around these type of people?
I had to give
It
that
makes,
same talk to one of my cousins not like a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
tell
When
us
she
about
was
it.
like, I ain't. One of these days I'm gonna find my king, man. But these niggas out here, they be tripping. They be this, they be that. But I'd be like, yo, cuz, like, I love you, but I don't love anybody to the point where I'm not gonna be straightforward. To me, that's not love. You know what I'm saying? I got to, like I was telling somebody earlier, I would rather have somebody around me that's gonna tell me when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Than let me keep fucking up. Pardon my language. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather have somebody tell me when I'm wrong than to have somebody just allow me to keep bumping my head or whatever. So I tell my cousin, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Um, Bitches get niggas, niggas get bitches, kings get queens, queens get kings. You know what I'm saying? And you are what you tell yourself you are. So if you and your friends keep referring to yourself as bitches and all that other stuff, you always gonna get niggas. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying?
Absolutely.
And the niggas is the ones that niggas are the ones that execute those character traits that you keep, what I'm saying, complaining about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they the ones that
It's
treat you like the dog that you're saying you are. They
right,
treat
because
you
you
like
know what I'm
who you
saying,
say you
that's
are.
what you get. But when you start seeing yourself a little bit different, you start expecting more out of yourself, and therefore start seeing more out of the people around you. You know what I mean? When Yakub was playing with those two pieces of steel and discovered one piece had magnetic in it and the other piece did not, you know what I'm saying? He was still playing with two pieces of steel. The lesson within that is that you're going to attract your element. It was still the
Right.
same element. You know what I mean? So if this is what's constantly coming around you, you know what I mean? You need to change your polarity. You know what I'm saying? You need to do some little self alchemy,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You need to change your element.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to start drawing more shit towards you, or being drawn towards different shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if that's the shit that you're always being drawn to and shit like that, you're drawn to it because it's your element. You think like that. You have to change how you think. You have to change how
Mm-hmm.
you live. You got to change what your priorities are. If you're somebody like like me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll tell anybody, you know what I'm saying? I am like hardcore on the unified black family. You know what I'm saying? The unified traditional black family, man, woman, child. Like I am so about that. You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm.
knock nobody else for how they live, but this is what I'm about over here. You know what I mean? If that's not what you with, I don't persecute nobody. I don't have to agree with what you on, but I'm not going to persecute you. I'm not going to support it either if I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna treat everybody, you know what I'm saying, how they deserve to be treated according to their ways and actions. That's how I deal with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So if you foul, I'm gonna be on some other shit with you. You gotta stay away from me, or you're gonna get cussed out, or whatever. However, it's gonna go down. You good
Mhm.
peoples and shit. I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about the music you listening to, who you lay with. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? You good peoples, we good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I tried to teach that to my cousin. They felt like I was preaching to him, and I'm just giving it to you in regular conversation. But it was crazy because while I'm telling it to her, one of her homegirls was listening. And I started seeing changes in her homegirl.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When she started, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
my cousin's thinking that, she thought she was gonna find herself a Nipsey Hussle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You was gonna find you an educated hood nigga or whatever. But I'm like, even Lauren London was kind of intelligent. You know what I'm saying, dog? So
Yeah.
even still, you know what I'm saying? You have to change the way you think. You know what I mean? Like, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I'm from the hood, I'm from the street or whatever, but I have knowledge of self or whatever. So that element is still in me. I can still relate to those people. I just don't live like that no more or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my element is people who are more on some family shit or trying to further themselves in life, trying to be healthy, you know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know what I'm saying, have good memories and just be around positive, productive people. You know what I'm saying? That's my element. That's why I keep around me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They like ratchet shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when I see that come up my timeline, oh, all black women this, all black women that. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that some black men ain't some shit and some black women ain't ratchet. You know what I'm saying? But I refuse to say all.
Yeah, I know.
You
I
know,
hate when
that's
they
an
do that too.
absolute statement. Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
absolute statement. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Nah, yo, just say, yo, this specific type of female, this specific type of dude, because we all fall into different categories. If we get mad when white people group us all together and say that we all do this, how we not going to get mad when we do it to ourselves?
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? All black. The black women around me don't wear wigs.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't throw
Yeah.
that out there as a stereotype for real. I know it goes down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know those that do, but in this house we don't. Well, the girls do sometimes, but they got their natural hair. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Most of the time when you see my daughters, they got their
Mhm.
natural hair. My wife has her natural hair. We do natural around here. Every once in a while the girls might get something in their braids or something like that, but you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
Like around here, that's what we do. We do natural. You know what I mean? That's not to say that I don't know my cousins and all of them that get weave and shit in their hair and that do act ratchet. You know what I'm saying? It's true, they do, but that's not all black women. But people are so keen on not stepping outside of their comfort zone or
Right.
stepping outside of what they already know to see something different. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
spend your whole, it's just like in New York. I know people in the Bronx that have never left the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's people in Brooklyn that have never left Brooklyn. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's people in Baltimore that have never left East Baltimore. Their whole life has been, they've never even been to West Baltimore.
Yeah, we know people like that too. They ain't left home. They just
You
ain't
see what
left.
I'm saying? So all you know
Mhm.
is what you see, and your scope of the world is different. You know what I'm saying? Your scope of the world is
Mhm.
so small because you wasn't able to get out and, you know what I'm saying,
Explore.
just go see something different. You don't know what you like. I tell my children that all the time. You don't know what you're going to be good at until you try it. You know what I
Mhm.
Right.
mean? You don't know what you're gonna like until you try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You
Yep.
don't know what you're gonna. If I could, you could ask somebody right now, like, yo, like, what are you passionate about? I made a post about that before. Like, what are you passionate about? You know what I mean? And only a few people answered or whatever for whatever reason and stuff. But if you ask somebody that in real life, that's when you can get. And they say something like, I don't know. And then you say, well, what do you do all day?
Mhm.
Every day. Like, when was the last time you tried something new? Like, if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, try some shit. You know what I'm saying? Life is a journey of self-discovery and things like that. These are things that fathers teach. I feel like if you're a
Right.
good father, or a good parent, period. You know what I'm saying? Just a good parent, period. You should teach this to your family. Like, yo, it's a wider, broad view out here because I want you to really like get a better view, a better picture of the world that you live in. Because even that's part of our job as parents is to prepare you for the world that you live in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the world is big, and these things are in it. Some things are bad. Some things are kind of messed up. Some things are beautiful.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And your heaven is whatever you make it. And your hell is whatever you're
Oh,
gonna make it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, so
Absolutely.
it's that thing like just trying to make sure that they have that worldview. And kids don't really think. A lot of children, for real, they think on a small scale anyway. But if you're telling it to them now, later on, you know what I'm saying, when they get out in the world on their own, it might sprout. But you know what I'm saying, just try to kind of introduce them to that now.
But it's up to us to water them, because they are our seeds. So we have to
Right.
water them. It's up to us. It definitely is. What is your input on that, Daniel?
No, I agree
Agree?
completely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for us
Mm-hmm.
as people, we gotta understand the prerequisite to a solid woman or a solid man. Because for me, a lot of the relationships I got in when I was younger, I didn't really understand the fundamentals, and I came from a father and a mother like a home, but I just thought, hey, yo, she's cute, she seemed cool.
Yeah.
That's all I need,
mhm.
and then you end up, she got a kid. Now you're like, whoa, you can't cook, you can't clean, you got to try to better yourself. You never did nothing in your life, and you're like stuck. And then when you have a child, man, like, man, that's a
Mhm.
whole nother game. It's like, God, if you pick the wrong person and they have your child, man, God, that's a pain. I don't think if you're not in this right here, you don't understand it at all, man. And that could break a man. So for me, looking at my son, I'm just like seeing him growing. I just want to like find every possible way to explain to him, like, yo, man, pick the right woman. Like, you do not want that smoke. That's a whole
Right.
nother level of problems you don't want to deal with. So I believe that becomes something in our culture, where we can really start to really vet the people that we allow in our circle. Because sometimes when you get around
Mhm.
certain things, it becomes normal. It becomes normalized. You think that's just the norm. Like what Knowledge Love said about like, some chicks want like the Nipsey Hustle, R.I.P. Nipsey, right? But most cases, most dudes that come from that ain't like that. So it's like,
Right.
you want the Nipsey Hustle or a dude like him is because that's all you see. If you're not leaving your hood, if you're not leaving your neighborhood, you don't understand anything outside of that. So it's kind of like just having an open mind and being and understanding how the world works and really picking the right people, man, because that could really make you or break you.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I applaud y'all. Even Knowledge Born, he's off the broadcast right now. But I applaud all four of y'all, for just doing what y'all have to do and and putting that impression and that imprint in these children. You know what I mean? And even in the women that you've come across and the women that you're with right now, including me. Okay. Yeah, so the women that you with right now, like I definitely applaud y'all. Y'all are doing a fabulous job. You know what I mean? And that's why, we chose you all to come on the show. This is why we chose you
I
all. We like,
appreciate it.
okay, we know who we want on the show. And that's it. There was supposed to be another guest on the show, T Ford, but he didn't come in. But T Ford is another. He was on the show a couple like last week, I think it was
Yeah, like
last two
last
weeks
week.
ago,
Nothing like last week.
like last week, and he's another like amazing dad. You know, he waited a long time to have a child and so forth. Waited until he was out of college and all kind of stuff. He had
Wow.
a child, and yeah, he's just doing great. And I just applaud all the fathers on my page, all the fathers that are watching, that will end up watching this, that are active, or the fathers that are struggling with being active because they have, bitter children's moms
Yeah.
and so forth. Just keep trying. Don't give up. Don't give up on your children ever.
Amen.
Because giving up on your children, they will always remember that.
Oh
They
yeah.
will always remember that it will always be in the back of their head. My father or my mother gave up on me.
Hmm.
Right.
You know, my
Right.
father and my mother did not want to be there or whatever it might be. So yeah, keep on. Yeah, don't give up. Just keep trying. Keep trying. You know.
That was the thing with me. I never gave up, even though, my baby's mom was one of those bitter ones. I never gave up. I stayed as consistent as I could without having to deal with all the extra mess she tried to put inside of what I was trying to do. So a lot of times, I hear a lot of people like they'll say, bad things about certain fathers, like, oh, because of course, if a kid grows up, it's gonna get its mother's side of the story, and
If
then
it's with the mom, yeah.
yeah, and then the mother will tell them, oh yeah, well, your dad was in there, and sometimes the child doesn't care to get the other side of the story
Because they believe the mom.
because they were and that
Right.
was in my
Right.
time. My
Yeah.
case, my baby's mom was doing that. She was going around telling my son, "Oh, I didn't want to be there. I just left." And I was like, "I never went nowhere. I was right here in Boston." Like, what are you talking? What is she talking about? And she kept perpetuating more lies to him to make me look like a bad guy.
Well,
Right.
So it's like, as she said, you just got to stay consistent for the fathers that are going through that, because I know there's a lot of fathers going through that. Some fathers even kill themselves over that, because
Right.
they can't
Right.
see their children. So they
Yeah.
kill themselves over that
yeah.
Right.
because they're dealing with some bitter baby mom dangling the baby like a toy. Like, oh, you do what I tell you or you don't see it. Give me this money or you
My
don't see it.
my
You know?
baby mother tried that with me.
Yeah,
My
you,
baby
you
mother
know what I'm
tried that with
talking
me.
about,
She would
God.
be like, if we're not going to be together, I'm putting the children up for adoption and all this. And I
Oh,
was like, I
Right.
was like in a really messed up situation. So I really couldn't take him at the time. I didn't have no support or nothing. Hell, I barely had anywhere to live. And this was right before I got locked up. You know what I
hmm,
mean? So I know like during that little last year on the street, 2004 she made sure that was like a really hectic year for me. Like I had already messed up by catching the charge that I caught. And honestly, that should have been like my biggest thing, but it's like she threw so much on my plate and it's like it was me against the world. And she used those children
hmm,
against me
yep.
or held them over my head. And then as soon as I got locked up, she gave them both away. So for like
Wow,
the whole 10 years I was in prison, um,
wow.
they weren't with her. And she like for the longest time she wasn't even around until I was about to come home. You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
sorry to
She had
hear
went
that.
met another dude.
Man.
Well, there's nothing you can do
Well, you
about it
know,
now. You know what I'm saying? And then even still, it was like it's kind of a blessing in disguise because the only thing that kept me dealing with her was the children.
Yeah.
But she lied on me too. She was like, "Oh, he never wanted them." I was like, "Yo, I didn't want you, and you know that, but you knew nobody was going to
Hmm.
care if you said that I didn't want you. So you have to make me look like the bad guy and use me as a
Yeah, yep.
scapegoat as to why you're giving your children up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a single mother now, and I've been a single mother for years. Like you've been a single mother for a couple of months. I've only been in jail for a couple of months and stuff. You want to give the children away. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what they was to you
Hmm.
anyway. They was leverage. You never really cared about them or
Yeah,
nothing like that.
yep,
So I
yep.
understand completely what you're going through because I have 10 years of lies against me that I have to fight, you know what I'm saying, just to deal with my children. You know what I
well, are
mean?
you over that now? Have you healed from that? You know that time period. Have you healed from it, or is it still affecting you?
It's still like 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 my children, especially my daughter, like the situation with my daughter. My daughter lives with somebody that I don't even know. I've never seen this woman the day before. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a touchy situation for me, right? Because I could talk about it some days and then just be like, yo, that's crazy. And then some days I'll talk about it and I'll be mad. Like,
Hmm.
like I want to ride down to where she's at and just start throwing punches. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to talk to anybody about it and find somebody that knows that when I'm talking, I really just want somebody to listen because, like my family wasn't a lot of help in that situation. And now I'm home and you're trying to tell me how I should feel about it. And you can't tell me how I should feel about it because you wasn't in that situation.
Right.
Even more so with my own siblings, my own two sisters trying to perpetuate a lie that I was a bad father to them to my children. I was like, y'all wasn't even around, and y'all was out here the whole 10 years, and the only time you want to talk to my daughter is now that you got an issue with me. Y'all could have been reached out to her. So it's a wild situation. So it's like it's something that I honestly had to go to anger management counseling. Like all
Wow.
last year, I was in
Knowledge
anger
going
management
back.
counseling talking about that, you know, and
Mhm.
like it was
Right,
something I'm
right.
striving to heal from, you know what I'm saying? But I can't honestly say that I completely healed from that or whatever because it's still like an open wound because it's still going on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, how do I apologize for something that I didn't do? I can apologize for going to prison or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I can apologize for being away, but I can't apologize for the lies. Like I can't. People
No, all
lied
you
on me.
do
I
is the only thing you do is apologize for not being able to be there at that
yeah,
moment.
and I've
That's
at
all,
that
because
point,
that's all you need to apologize for not being able to be there
yeah,
at that moment and not being
and I've
able to
done that.
protect your daughter's innocence at that time because she was innocent at that time that you went away. That's all you need to apologize for. And that's it.
Yeah,
You know, because you
and I've
wasn't the one
told
who
them that,
lied and all that.
you
That's
know,
all.
and
But you know,
I've
I,
told them that. I was like, you know, like I don't know what else you want. Like I can't give you that time back. All I can do is apologize, and I'm here now trying to make it right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like y'all, you guys are teenagers. Like your life has, like you keep saying, I've been gone most of your life or whatever. But how much longer do you need for me to be gone? I'm here now. You're still young.
Right.
you
You
Right.
know,
know.
I don't want us to spend much time, talking bad about the children's moms, because I had a Mother's Day
Nah.
segment and I didn't allow the mothers to talk bad about the fathers at all. Matter of fact, they didn't even speak
Facts.
about the fathers,
Mhm.
because I don't want it to be a negative situation. But I am glad that you all did speak up, and tell your piece of that story that happened with you
Hmm.
all. Um, your situation reminds me a lot of my father's situation, you know, that he had at one point in time, and it's very sad just hearing it, because there's a lot of people who go through that type of situation, and the father's not able to really express themselves, and the mother's always, the mother's more like the superwoman, and the father's like the villain.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really do feel bad because I am one of the eldest, so I was able to witness a lot. I witnessed a lot between my father, his numerous baby children's moms, his growth and development and so forth. And I would definitely say that I was one of the only children that didn't hold that over his head or use that against him. His what he went through as a young black man, and I always, and even with my children's father, I look and I'm like, you know what, I can never be mad, because I know that they were young, and when you're young you do messed up things at times and you mess up. So I never held anything against them, and
Right.
that's why I'm actually that mother who does not bash their father. I don't do any of that, because what I went through is my experience, and it's not for my children to know about, and they'll find out on their own. That's how I feel about it. You know, they'll find out on their own, because I don't want to instill hate and all that stuff into my children. I
Mhm.
refuse to do that, because I see how some of my siblings feel toward my father, because they don't really know his side of the story. They just hear little bits and pieces. They don't really get to bond with him like that. They missed a lot, and he missed a lot. So I do know firsthand, from being a daughter to a father who was not able to really be there for all his children like that,
Mhm.
even though he wanted to be there. So I know how that, I definitely know how that is, just by being a daughter to a father like that.
Right.
And it's just a sad situation, especially when you have, like what y'all two was describing, like the bitter children's moms,
Mhm.
because they'll put lies on you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then they'll put the lies out into the public and all kind of stuff like that. And that's why people have that idea, and that thought of black men, that stigma of black men being bad, because of broken hearts from the women and so forth. And then they just go out and they take it out on the father and every other black man after that. instead of
Right.
healing themselves before they get into new relationships. So I just had to, put that out there like that, because it does hurt me to even hear you all talk about that. It's really saddening. It's very, very, very saddening to even hear stuff like that, but I'm glad to see that you all are active dads. Active, not inactive, but active, there for your children. You have positive hopes and aspirations for your children. You guys, the things that you all have described as far as your best feeling or emotions toward your children, it's indescribable how I feel about hearing y'all talk about it. To me, I see y'all as supermen. You're doing what you're working hard. You got a wife or a woman right next to you. You're taking care of children. Some of you all taking care of children that aren't even biologically yours, but you're still taking care of them. You see them as your children. You are you're strong enough and brave enough to come out and speak about being a Black father. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I definitely applaud all of y'all. I hear somebody singing. Who's that singing?
My daughter's singing in the shower.
I'm hearing it. Yeah.
My daughter's singing in the shower.
She getting it in. We gotta get her on the mic.
Yeah. She sings a lot. I post a lot of her videos when I catch her singing too. Like I'll
Your
record
daughter.
her. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That was beautiful. She's just getting it in.
Yeah.
So yes, I just want to show a couple of comments real quick. Actually, all of the comments. All right, so we got a happy Father's Day. That's loyal. That's from my son. Happy Father's Day to you all.
Happy Father's Day.
My son ain't no daddy. He better not be no daddy.
Oh man, thank you. I'm so used to saying it back, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Again.
Who's this? Oh,
your dad.
My father, but my little brother actually. Hi, sis. It's your little brother Mason X. That's right. Watching, and happy Father's Day to all y'all. Okay, Mason said happy Father's Day to y'all.
Thanks, Mason.
Thanks. Thank you.
There go my father. He's telling y'all happy Father's Day. All right.
Peace. Happy Father's Day to you.
Oh, she said children are medicine for the soul. Yes, that's right. We're telling us that they can't really hear too good. My father said he has his 11-year-old son. Let me see. What did he say? Peace to the earth and gods. I have my 11-year-old son. And one.
Peace.
All right.
Peace, Pops.
All right. Oh, and my 13-year-old watching. Okay. All right. Mason and Avery, y'all are watching. I see y'all out there. Those are my little brothers. All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in. You feel me? Thank you all. So
thanks for having me.
No problem. You was gone for a minute, but I gave you a shout out. Like I said, I'm so happy that you came on the show. You are an outstanding father and a great representative to the Black culture with everything that you do with the he has a lot of programs and so forth he does for the Black youth. He's a mentor. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but yeah, he's a mentor and he's also an advocate for, the young Black brothers out there and so forth because of whatever he's gone through. And he also has a little organization where he gives out food and helps the needy and so forth. Like he's doing a lot of things for the community. So outstanding work. But thank you all for being on our show. And
all the fathers that passed away that were good dads too. My cousin was one of them. He was killed. He was a great father, great father. He has a couple of kids, a lot of kids. He was able to pass on children before he passed. And your cousin too.
Yes, my cousin Lil Keith.
All the great fathers that passed away.
My little cousin just passed away in December. That just passed, and he left behind 2 daughters, and his a female was pregnant by him. He just passed away in Boston, and it's just yeah, so all the dads and so forth that are not here with their children today, we just happy Father's Day to their children,
Mhm.
And if you're watching, we love you, and your father still remains within you, So he's not nowhere but inside of you. He's there. He's still with you. So goodness, goodness, goodness. Why you had to bring that up? Got me feeling all emotional and stuff. Shoot. I ain't got no time to be feeling emotional today, okay? God. No, no, no. Yes, definitely shout out. My great grandfather, he passed away, but he was a major, major influence in my life. He was my father. For a long time when my daddy was in prison, and running the streets because he was a hot boy, So definitely, my great grandfather and my granddaddy, I love them so much. I wish they were still here, but yeah, shout out to all them amazing dads out there that stepped in, you know, that were there and all that good stuff. Some more shout out to.
God, right?
Yeah,
God.
y'all want to give any shout outs? What she say,
I
Tim?
You
just
want to give
want
any shout outs
Oh,
to any
yeah.
father figures you may have had?
I want to give a shout out to my own father, my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather, my martial arts instructors,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's watching will probably tune in later. Happy Father's Day! Happy Father's Day to all of you brothers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there making it happen.
Thank
And
you,
rest
Roger.
in
Happy
peace to the
Father's Day to
God,
you, my
powerful,
man.
powerful mind. He wasn't here, like you said. This is one of the brothers that had passed back in 2016. His babies are still out here. So happy
Mm-hmm.
birthday! I mean, happy Father's Day to him, and it's his daughter's birthday today. So I should probably reach out.
Oh,
But yeah,
happy
peace.
Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day.
Happy
You
Father's
know,
Day to
yeah.
my daddy too.
Yep. Happy
My
Father's Day,
daddy.
Bob.
Yes, happy Father's Day, daddy.
How about you, Daniel? You have anybody? You have anybody you want to shout out, Daniel?
Yo,
Daniel, you have anybody you want to shout out?
yeah, man, all the amazing fathers out there, man. A happy Father's Day, and you just got to keep, moving along and try to set a great example.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep on, keeping on.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And what about you, Knowledge
I'm gonna shout out everybody that's on here. My father chose our people, so he was one that was out in the streets of New York and New Jersey, resurrecting people from a mentally dead state. You see what I'm saying? So he had an assignment, and he wrote with his assignment into his transition. You
boy?
see,
Wow.
so respect to him and to his father, and my maternal grandfather. He met my grandmother with 10 children and had 5 more children with her. You understand? So like I learned manhood and responsibility to family, to come into existence with that renewed energy of nothing is perfect. You kind of roll up your sleeves or roll out. You understand? So, you roll up your sleeves and you continue to roll. Like, and for the coaches that I met over the years, my older brothers, my older brother, I was on the phone with him. He's a grandfather now. You understand what I'm saying? So I told him Happy Father's Day and Happy Grandfather's Day with his old ass. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, these were all shining examples in the elder men that allowed me to come around them as a young boy. You see what I'm saying? Because I knew how to conduct myself, and they share game with you when you coachable and teachable, and you learn. Like, and for the young men that are listening, you're around older men, and for the older men that's listening, these younger brothers are learning from you, whether you know it or not. You see what I'm saying? So be mindful of what you say, and be more mindful of what you do around these young men. You see, because they're taking it all in. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to be with some warriors. You see what I'm saying? And we in this. And I'm available to y'all too. You know what I'm saying? So that village, if hey, I'm here. You see what I'm saying? I ain't but a phone call away. You understand? So we need to convene and get some stuff together. I don't want you to hold it. You see what I'm saying? It's a tumultuous journey, but it's at the end of that journey you come out right. So thanks to Fari, and thanks to Patah, thanks to Knowledge Love. You know what I'm saying? Uh, thanks to the guy, man. Daniel, eBay.
Boy? Daniel, eBay. Yes, thank you all. And we're gonna get to ending this show. I really appreciate all of y'all for being on the show. And hopefully I can have y'all on again for something else, you know,
No doubt. Just
something
reach
else.
out to me.
We do a lot of building with the brothers on Sundays. So, you know, hope we can have you all on again on a Sunday.
Yeah,
Just reach out
definitely
to
have
me.
Roger back. I mean, the God knowledge love back on.
Yeah, no doubt. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, everyone.
Peace, guys.
Peace. Peace.
Welcome to the school. Welcome to the school where entertainment and enlightenment meets.